Has any bride ever been missed less than Sasha Chandler? Probably not. Hi guys, I'm Kat, and today I would like to talk about Engaged in Trouble from the Enchanted Events series by Jenny B. Jones. In book 1, Paisley comes back home after her solo career falters. She used to be in a band, was quite successful, but when the lead singer broke off, the other two were left to take care of their own business, and it didn't work out for Paisley. So she's flat broke when she returns to her hometown after inheriting her aunt's event planning business. It is on the condition that she keeps it afloat for a month before she can sell it, which is her original plan. Back in her hometown, she moves into a house that belongs to her grandma, right next to a guy she used to go to school with. And it takes about 30 seconds before you know, oh, that's the love interest. Okay. Well, in book 1, Bridezilla gets killed. Sasha Chandler is the worst bride ever. Terror personified, essentially. And she gets off while Paisley is on duty and planning her wedding. And also in Paisley's shop. So, yep, no surprise, she's the prime suspect. And feels the need to dig herself out of that hole. With the help of her grandma and her aunt, not really her aunt, but essentially her aunt Franny, who used to work for the CIA. They're both retired, have zero regards for the law, and keep way too many weapons on them. There will be spoilers ahead, but I will try to keep them to the characters rather than the cases that get handled in those 3 books. Also, I read all 3 of them quickly, one after the other, so I might be mixing things up. I also have to review all 3 of them because details just get mixed up. So Paisley is the prime suspect in the Bridezilla murder because her fiancé used to be the guy Paisley wanted to marry. Except he left her at the altar and caused quite a scandal for her pop star career as well. Yeah, no wonder Paisley is not too thrilled to go back to her hometown or meet this guy again, or live in her old hometown, to be fair. But it's okay. 30 seconds in and she's head over heels for Beau. But of course it takes them virtually all 3 books, or until the middle or end of book 2, to finally figure out, oh wow, yeah, there's something going on here. It's like, yeah, and he knew this 2 minutes into meeting each other, but take your time. Okay, quickly on book 2 and 3. In book 2, somebody gets murdered at a Renaissance fair, and this time Beau is the prime suspect, which is why Paisley gets involved again. Book 3, the lead singer of Paisley's former band comes to town to have a fanfare. After she pushed somebody in front of a bus, she needs to redeem herself from the scandal, and apparently a fan fest is the way to go for that. Too bad she also invites the person she pushed in front of a bus, because that girl gets murdered in her house, and now her former bandmate is a prime suspect. Hence why Paisley is involved. Well, also because she had to plan the fan fest. She hated every second of it, but she pulled through for her friend. Not really her friend at that point, but they actually kind of make up by the end, which is amazing because Jess is a nightmare as well. Also, Paisley's mom stops by in this book, finally. You wonder where her parents are. They get mentioned. Apparently they are career people who are too busy traveling to take care of their family or something. But in book 3, she finally shows up, and there's a lot of conflict to resolve between Paisley and her. For the romance, well, I'm not a massive romance reader, so these struggle with, like, will they get together or won't they, when you all know it's like, yeah, they will eventually. It's just a bit annoying to read, to be honest. Also, can't I have a mystery book or a thriller where the couple actually works together to overcome obstacles instead of fighting obstacles to be together in the first place? Is it that hard? Can't we have a grown-up couple that actually does things together as partners? Rather than, in Paisley's case, there's a girl around that Beau has a fling with, like in the first book. It's nothing serious, neither of them cares too much. She comes back in book 2, is pregnant by somebody else, but of course this whole thing has to be misconstrued to have Paisley think that it's Bo's child, and so she can freak out. It's just like, again, having adult conversation for about 2 minutes would have solved this, but you take your time in getting together and then go in overdrive by book 3 because you've been barely together for like 2 or 3 months, finally told each other that you love each other, so instantly adopt dogs. Go and adopt dogs together, because that's the moment before living together or having anything else figured out. Just go adopt animals and then have to be split up when you split up if this doesn't work out. So I don't know, 2-3 months into a relationship doesn't strike me as the right time to adopt animals. Just saying. Okay, as for the characters, Paisley seems to be chaos personified at points. And I quite like it. I mean, she's quite sympathetic. Apart from the romance angle, she seems fairly reasonable. A reasonable character to me. So I quite enjoyed reading her. Then her grandma and aunt, they obviously kept in a comical tone. It's like, yeah, these CIA chicks that, keep weapons in their undies and whatnot, and like to break into places and ignore the law and whatnot, are written to be funny, but sometimes you have to wonder. Transfer this into real life. There's somebody who used to be Secret Service who has all kinds of weapons that they shouldn't have and who doesn't give a shit about the law. It doesn't sound all that great, does it? So yeah, but within the story, they help Paisley out because, oh my god, my grandchild is a suspect in a murder case. We can't have that. So they do half the work. No, actually they do more than half the work for Paisley, I think. But again, no regard for the law, because of course you can hack into places. Like, Oh, on that note, the police seems to be completely incompetent. Like, the detective in charge considers Paisley the prime suspect because, given the circumstances, it makes sense. And apparently, outside of the Paisley angle, there seems to be no police work going on. So it's like, yeah, no wonder you need civilians to solve this stuff for you. Yeah, Bo was just your average, oh my god, he's so gorgeous dude with a brooding nature or whatever. He was okay, but I know I didn't care too much. But then again, the romance angle annoyed me, so, what did you expect? Within that romance, at some point it becomes clear that Bo is a war veteran and suffers from PTSD, and Paisley's reaction to that is, well, it will be better, or it will help him if he just talks to me, and then she just keeps poking him and pressuring him to tell her what happened abroad, and you're just sitting there like, he shouldn't do that. If he should be talking about his PTSD or his problems with somebody, it should probably be a therapist, not the girl who just thinks she has the right to know everything about you. So, not great. It was a bit iffy when I got to that point. Oh, the namings. Her car is named Shirley and her grandma is named Sylvie. And those names are just too close together for me. At some point she says something like, oh, I backed Shirley up, or I parked Shirley somewhere. I was like, what did you just do to your grandma? Oh no, that's your car. Never mind, it's your car. You would think those names are different enough, but no, for me, while racing through this book, they were not. The book contains a couple of mistakes, like between punctuation and formatting. It's not that wild, but I mean, if you notice it and this stuff annoys you, then it's not particularly great. Like, some stuff is misspelled, like Sylvie is Sylvia at some point. At some point, Paisley goes to talk to somebody who already knows her and introduces herself with a different last name, and you're just like, huh? But yeah, so there are a couple of mistakes across the books left. And I think it switched from third person to first person eventually at some point in the first one. So you only see this in the first book. But when she meets her cousin Emma, there's something like, hold on, let me quote this because I messed up. She tackled me an impressive berg. Run, she whispered in her ear. Run while you can, Aunt Maxine's visiting. So there's stuff like that left where you can see, okay, it used to be written in a different person and that changed, but I didn't catch all of it. So if you're picky about typos and stuff in books, then this is probably not a series for you, but it didn't annoy me too much, and I can be rather picky about it as well. So as you've probably guessed, because I read all 3 books, not just the first one, and gave up on it, I would say this easily deserves this cat. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back next week with another review. Bye guys!